Hey! This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Football Friday to you. Thanks for being on the program here with us. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen, Stevenson, Sylvester, Harvey Langi. Moments away from putting the headset on here as well, so we're going to have a full Football Friday decked out for you. Split duties. You know what that means? It's the busiest time of year for us, and it doesn't stop just because we are in different locations. Technology is a wonderful thing. That allows us to be able to hear, even if they are ridiculous opinions, the ridiculous opinions of Jeremiah Jensen and Stevenson Sylvester from all the way across the valley.
Can't I paint you gold?
Can I tell a quick story real fast from the football? Can I tell a quick story from the football game real quick? So, yeah. JJ, this is just between me and you. This doesn't have anything to do with Sly. He can just pretend like I'm going to have him pretend like he can't hear this, all right? So Sly is on the field, right? And these BYU fans are absolutely giving the business to Sly, to anybody in anything that isn't royal blue at that stadium. I'm catching flack because I'm just standing next to Sly at that point, and I'm wearing the neutral media black that we were wearing during the game, and I'm standing there, and Sly has no problem giving it right back to the BYU fans, even while he's in the corner. I thought, you know what? There's no better representation.
Oh, you saw that?
If there's a Utah. Listen, if there's a Utah fan out there who needs to hear this, you don't have a better representation in this dadgum business than Stevenson Sylvester, who's in the mouth of the lion, the mouth of the cougar down in Provo. Like, just a place that he doesn't even want to be, right? Standing in a blue end zone, like literally on the blue painted end zone, and Sly's out there going – and just turning around, giving the students the business right back, and then getting on the air and going, yeah, I got a report for you. I mean, it was a sight to behold on the freaking sideline.
There we go.
It was a sight to behold on the sideline. Harvey Langi just sat down with us here. That. Oh, stop it! Listen, there's one dude who stands out of the crowd down there in BYU. First of all, the shades are on. Okay, it's a pitch black game at night. Doesn't matter. Sly's got the shades on. He has enough time to get in the ref's ear. He has enough time to turn around and to tell the student section to have a great night. And then he turns around and he's doing the call on the radio. And we were watching. We were both, Sly, you and I were in that corner where both of those penalties happened, kind of right next to each other, and then they ended up getting a touchdown and being on the 1 yard line. And I don't know if you saw the same thing that I did, but on the onside kick, I didn't have any depth perception as to where that ball ended up. I thought Utah had it, and I was like, we're going to have another ending for the ages here. But man, that was a new experience for me in the rivalry game, to be on the sideline next to Sly, which is a whole different category of hanging out and watching a football game. So that's an endorsement, by the way. If
you don't like the Holy War, what is wrong with you? That is amazing. I told you, I think my favorite thing is to be down at LaVelle Edwards Stadium receiving booze. I got little 10-year-olds in the crowd.
Wait, how do you spell booze? How do you spell?
Without the Z. Without the Z. Hey, dirty sodas all around.
Good.
Man, yeah, if you don't like being down, I love LaVelle Edwards Stadium just because I'm hated so much. And I don't know, it's just a good feeling. As a player, competitor, I love going.
Isn't that what the rivalry is all about?
Yes.
Would you expect any less?
No.
If you want to be the best rivalry in the country, that's how it has to be.
And you know what? If there was a fight, I would have been there.
But still with the headset on, be able to give the play-by-play of the fight that you're participating in. That's
what's crazy is I don't know how I hear the fans, but I got my earphones in, and like I really people say they be yelling my name. I legit can't hear anything, but I hear the fans. For some reason, somebody's yelling at me. I turn around and I'm glaring right at them, so I just go back. Good times.
It was beyond good times. By the way, Harvey Langi has just sat down, and he did bring snacks, but you guys aren't involved.
Oh, you guys are missing out.
Wow.
Of course.
You guys are missing out.
Hold on. Now, what do
Harvey
we have
saved
here?
the best for when we weren't there.
These are Hawaiian donuts called malasadas.
Oh, no, dude. Get out of here.
they're
Okay.
malasadas.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and because
hey, all I know is that I saw Sly. I saw Sly down there on the south end zone, and I'm screaming his head because I got kicked off the sideline because I had my son with me, and he really wanted to go meet Benson Boone. So I don't know how the heck I did. I just slithered my way to get in a picture with them, and on my way back, I see Sly in the south end zone. This is in the end of the third quarter or beginning of the fourth quarter.
Pissed off.
Oh, my gosh. I'm screaming your name, but no, you can't hear me. And I'm like, man, I wish I just took a video of his face and sent it in the group message.
That's what you should. That's what Reno
I harassed him.
Reno's like, Reno sent me a video of myself yelling at the ref. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I look left, and he's right there just dying laughing at me. So you should have took a video.
Now, listen, we're watching our figure here, SaltLakeCityFatLess.com. But I just dove in to the chocolate malasada, and I
don't even want to hear.
How are you guys eating malasadas? I think we have some Skittles available if we want them. It's really not fair.
Can you not teleport those over here?
No, what you got to do is take a picture of them and send it to us.
Beam me up.
Oh, we will.
If you really want to rub it in, that would be evil.
No, we will.
Here we go.
So here's and it's inappropriate, is what it is. It's actually it's borderline food.
Well, I just started my diet
right?
on
not
Monday,
safe for work, huh?
So I'm
No. It's about as. Oh my goodness! Look at this. Look at the chocolate moving inside of the donut.
Wow.
Dude. It's like wow.
Is there any better analysis than Alex describing desserts?
Hey, listen, a guy who gets shorted on sugar all week, and I'm out here. This is like, listen.
Fantasy
I didn't
Fridays,
get to drown my
buddy.
sorrows. I know I didn't get to drown my sorrows after the Mariners got their butts handed to them the other night in any sort of sweets. I just went to bed pouting, and now this is finally a few days late, but I'm now whole again, so I feel good about it. Hey, by the way, it's a Football Friday. You know what that means? Alex, Kirry, and Harvey Langi down here at the warehouse in Salt Lake City, 1825 South, 300 West. And by the way, you can partake of a malasada if you come in here and say you heard us on the program. Come in and get a donut. Come in and get a Hawaiian donut. You can come down, hang out with us, and then JJ and Sly are up at Westfield High School. Are you guys set up on the field down there?
Oh yeah,
man. This campus, dude. Schools
I'm telling you,
better and better.
Not just that. I remember that school because my kids had to play a couple of youth games this year up there. And first, it's the full-on Longhorn, Texas Longhorns. The orange Longhorn in the middle of the field.
Orange.
Orange and black.
The burnt orange, and it looks awesome. And then they have this facility that I'm not kidding is very Texas-like. To that other side of the field there. It's like their field house and their weight room and all that, right? It's a phenomenal facility. And this is a high school, and yeah, man, they're going to compete. As soon as if you build it, the talent shows up.
Come.
So, yeah, it's awesome. So, our Fridays, of course, we talk all football. We get it going here. We have not been able to go back and forth about this game yet as a foursome here. So let's jump in here and let's kick the Friday off right here with the cut, top of the program, and let's get right to it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right. This is in poor taste, obviously, that we're eating on the air.
Is your mouth full of those?
As I'm watching this video, that's
pulling
rude.
I'm pulling a JJ right now.
That's way
I'm all
better than
Cougar.
what I brought.
The Cougar is a 30 update brought to you by this donut. No, we're full on here. Hey, this portion of the show is always brought to you by Trajan Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. TrajanWealth.com. All right. Reaction from this one, obviously.
It really is.
Obviously,
I can't talk about football because I'm thinking about the damn donut.
Those things look good, man.
If you were serious about that, if you want to go to the warehouse and get one of those, they're worth it.
As Alex is smacking in our ear, we're watching the video of that. It's just terrible.
It's like we lost a bet or something.
I got you.
No, it is. You know what? You kind of did. Yeah, right? I mean, it feels like it's right. It feels like it's good. They split the team up, and you guys are vanquished out to outer Westfield High School darkness, and then we're over here partaking of
we'll
the
get Brent
here.
to go get us some good stuff out here in Westfield.
I'm sure. Good luck. There's probably a Maverick within 4 or 5 miles from there.
Go get a Tostito.
Yeah, you can get one of those rollers off of those black roller grills. It's fine. All right, let's talk about this game, and we'll put this thing to bed after one segment here. How this one rolled out here, Harvey. I want to get your take on it, but I'll let you chew your donut here for a second. Sly, as that one ended, you were pretty clear to me. It was pretty clear to me the way you felt about this one, and I don't think it was nearly the level of what we had seen last year when people felt like this game was quote unquote stolen from Utah. However, there were still some feelings at the end of the game, like, hey, this one wasn't fair. This one didn't feel right. In the end, though, when you broke it all down, where did Utah lose this football game?
Execution, and that's the bottom line. And you get to these games, BYU made mistakes, Utah made mistakes. Utah had penalties called on them, BYU had penalties called on them. I think that was pretty even. The problem is when penalties are called on them, it's the timing of it and how that affects the narrative of the game. As I've always said, that football's about a good storytelling. When things happen at a certain point of the game, changes the other part of the story. So penalties, BYU literally didn't have a penalty until 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And then they got a barrage of penalties at the end. So don't look at the stat sheet and like, oh, it was even. Like, all right, whatever. But here nor there, bottom line, penalties aside, you saw the yardage that Utah was putting up. The problem is just like the Wyoming game, you're not going to get out of those games if you're not finishing. Utah can have 600 yards of offense and only 3 freaking points. Utah wasn't executing. And all those fourth downs, yes, I would have went for it too. You'd say you have one of the best O-lines in the country. You have one of the best rushing attacks in the country, one of the most efficient third down offenses in the country, and on fourth down you can execute as well. Go for it, yeah. But you look at those plays and you figure out where Utah went wrong on that. It wasn't that BYU bested them. Utah literally killed themselves, and it was their A players not coming through in meaningful times, man. And so that game is just surmised by poor execution at quality times, right? Mental errors, you can chalk it up to all of that, but when you need your A players to come through, and this is what I always take with me. We're heading into the Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin sits us down the night before the game, and it's just like, hey, rookies, man, we appreciate you, helping us get to this point, but I need my A players. Right, and you guys can just come. Rookies can just be luggage. You guys can be Louis luggage if you want, but you're just luggage. But I need my A players to come up and make plays, and I just don't think in those fourth down moments, in those key moments, our A players came through. For me, if I'm just being all the way real, Teo Johnson had a horrible game, right? Spencer Fano didn't have the greatest game. Lander Barton didn't have the greatest game. There's technical things that could have been had over there. Devin Dampier, although injured, there was just certain points where he didn't have a good game. Majority, he had a good game. But it was just the A players, Tobias Mayweather, all these guys, where are they? Daniel Bray, good thing for Daniel Bray. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That guy.
He had over 100 yards rushing, and no one's talking about it.
No one's talking about it, right? But when you get to these quality games, Texas Tech, BYU, Arizona State, Iowa State, all these down the road, it's about making quality plays when they needed to be had, and Utah just could not execute at the time that they needed to.
You're absolutely right, Sly, but my follow-up to you is why? Why are they not executing in those moments? This is not the first time this year. Yeah. You mentioned Wyoming in the first half. That was absolutely execution, not finishing drives. Texas Tech clearly, and BYU. These big games where they fell short, why is the execution not where it's supposed to be? And we're in week 7?
I don't know. I would say that it's just like, because I've been there where I want it so bad that I end up messing it up. I overthink things, and when I'm actually gelling and I've done my preparation and I'm chill, I'm going out there, it's just whatever, I'm hanging loose, I'm not trying to overdo it, I have my best game. But when I'm so focused, I got to do this, I got to make the play, I got to do this, it doesn't work. and I end up messing up the deal more. So that's when people talk about being comfortable and confident and why athletes are so superstitious about their routines and having to make sure that it's just – I tell you what, in basketball and whatever, my basketball free throw routine and everything, it has to be the same way that I did it when I made it, right? And that's everything. Everything that I did when I won a game, when I won a football game, I had to do it the exact same way as I did it the last time. And if I don't, I'm all messed up. And so I just think that Utah's was real tight. I think they were just too tight in order to make that happen. And ultimately, when you get down in the game and you don't convert on big plays, it takes energy out of you. Right, like in Texas Tech game, we missed on that 60-yard bomb to Jackson Benny, right, because of a lineman downfield.
When you talk about the narrative of the game, that would have changed the game,
That would have changed the play calling for Texas Tech and everybody else. That took the energy out of them. Here in this game, we go for it, or we go for it on fourth down. We don't make it happen. That takes energy out of you. But it's 0-0 because BYU just messed up on the drive before that, right? But at the end of the half, right, we muff a punt. They go up by 3. That takes the energy out of you as you go and sit down in the locker room. So it
was a chance to score and then get the ball first in the second half. Would have completely, again, changed the narrative of the game.
That was the biggest play of the game for me, was the muff punt. And no, it's just a muff punt. It's whatever. But if you look at that, the timing of when that happened, the mentality of what – because if he doesn't muff that punt, it's 7-7 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Utah's up, 7-10 or 14-10, whatever it was. Yeah, but
it was a big swing in the game.
Harvey, you got to see Bear Bachmeier up close and see what his effect on a game could be. What were your thoughts on watching that guy? Because week after week, I kind of think to I don't know. JJ and I had this discussion earlier this week where it was like, I think in 2013 we were saying, yeah, but Taysom Hill, that's not like real quarterbacking, like when you're just running the ball for 150 yards every game. And yet, winning games, however you do it, is winning games. Seeing him there in person and then knowing how young he is, all those things, how does it add up for you of how he's doing running that offense that Aaron Roderick has set up for him?
Super impressive. And Sly, I agree. I agree with you. Utah came in. The first quarter was back and forth. It could have gone any way, but that muff punt and then throwing the interception in the fourth quarter alongside with those penalties really hurt Utah. And I truly think, and speaking of like just not finishing drives, does it come down to the trust with the coaches? It's like, hey, it's fourth down. We're going to go for it again. And the coaches are saying, I trust you guys to get this. Are the players going in there like, hey, we're going to get this? Or they're like, bro, why don't we just kick it? Do you have that split personality within the huddle like, hey, we should probably just kick this now? Or do you have the other guys like, hey, man, we're going to get this fourth down right here and go down and score? So you need those big-time players to step up during those times and say, hey, it's fourth down. We're going to get this.
Right.
This is us. This ain't the coaches saying it. This is all of us. This is me, and these are the coaches. We're going to go do this together. And I think you hit it right on the head of just, you're big-time players. You got to come up. And Bear Bachmeier was a big-time player. When things weren't going wrong and he was getting smacked left and right, luckily for BYU, Barton gets taken out. If Barton doesn't get taken out, Barton had Bear Bachmeier
in his sights all night.
He was on Bear all night long. And when he got taken out, right?
He doesn't run that 22-yard touchdown in like he did, right? Like you have Barton in the middle. You have a lot of trust in knowing that he's going to get to the ball. And I'm super proud of Bear Bachmeier and being his age and all that. Guess what? He's starting to get his fill. He's starting to get his mojo. He needs to be a little bit more smart when he does take off running, so he can play a little longer.
He's built for that. He could take that.
He is built for that, but hey, we all say, hey, you're young, you're built for that, but you're built for that until you're not built for that. Yeah,
Right. So
I truly do think that I was impressive by Bear, and I do think that he's getting his mojo. I would just let him know. Bill Belichick used to always say, when the journey's over, know when the journey's over, and then go down. Because sometimes when you're fighting for the extra yardage or you're trying to do a hurdle or something, and when you're stuck or something, it's like, man, that's when the ball gets a little bit loose. It's like, hey, if the journey's done, just go down.
So I was interesting because he on that 22-yard run, BYU social media I think put it out that run in like the most slow motion you could put it in. So you're watching this. They cut it to like a 2.5 minute. That's like a BYU fan's dream, where it's like cut a 22-yard run down to like a 2.5 minute like slow mo clip. Like
when it was like when it took like 15 seconds. That's what I'm saying.
It took 12.5 seconds to get there. And the thing is then when Teo Johnson puts his head down and dives and just whiffs, when Jackson Benny hits him and makes that contact. Now, before he gets to Jackson Benny, he covers the ball up, and you could tell he's kind of like, all right,
I'm going down.
Yeah.
I am going to go down. And then his offensive,
but they're not taking me down.
Right, and Waylon Lapuaho shows up behind him and goes, I think we can get a push.
Well, sometimes on defense, it's like, hey, someone stop his momentum. Everyone else start punching at the ball.
Right.
Let's try to rip at this ball.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think Barrett thought, hey, I'm down. And when he got stopped by Benny, it's like, man, I'm going to hold this guy up, and hopefully one of my guys on defense can come in and smack the ball out. And that's when
for me that sounds like practice where you're not able to tackle the quarterback, and you're just like, okay, we got him wrapped up. Let's let the whistle blows and let's
we're
stop.
keeping him up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and so like normally when we go against running quarterbacks in practice, you put some of the scout team in there on quarterback, and you make sure you tackle them all the way to the ground, and that's how we practice. And I just don't think Utah practiced with a running quarterback that you can tackle all the way to the ground, because even on that sack where Lander Barton got ejected from, Teo Johnson had him again, right, and let him go, and that's a mentality thing. And honestly, I've been around, in the pros and in college where it's like you got to be so careful around the quarterback, even in competition games, where you don't want to cause your team a penalty. So you're just like, I'm trying to be overcautious, and you take that aggression away from the defense because of so many penalties. And it sucks. And so your defense is having to think more than they already have to. You're already a reactive position. Now you have to think about, this is going to be a penalty and hurt even more. And so I think you take so much away from the defenses in today's football. And I just think that the way that they were tackling was more of how they practiced. And it just like, even what you're talking about on a 22-yard touchdown run, Teo Johnson over-pursued that. Football's all about angles. Harvey, you'll tell them. It's about angles. If you don't take the right angle, you're gone. I could be chasing down a guy who runs a 4.2 40, and if I got the right angle, I can get him, right? But if I don't have the right angle, he's gone. And so Teo Johnson overruns that, and his feet got off from under him. And that's it. Football's all about technique.
Here's what we're going to do. Take our first break here. I want to remind you, too, hey, it's a Football Friday, but we are going to have our weekly conversation with Bear Bachmeier. We have too many bears in this freaking market. Who would have thought we'd have all these bears we have to, sift through every week? Bear Tourney, he's the head coach of the Utah Mammoth, who checks notes. 7 goals last night. I don't know if you were able to watch any of that game last night, but after about 5.5 minutes, it was 4-0. Utah was up. Logan Cooley had a hat trick in the first 6.5 minutes, and Ian Cole added one on top of it. It was 4-0, and then Utah just from there played some defense. It got a little bit dicey in the second and third periods, but they ended up punching this one through. They get the win. Clayton Keller scores 2. Logan Cooley scores 3, and they win 7-4 down there in St. Louis. We're going to talk to Bear Tourney, who's still on the road as the Mammoths just continue to try to, ride this wave out. Tusky is 5-0 as the mascot since he was introduced. The team has not lost one game, so we'll give it up for Tusky here. It's a Football Friday right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars hit the road for a massive Big 12 showdown against Iowa State. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's a Football Friday, which means, of course, Harvey Langi joins us, former Utah and BYU.
Hello, everyone.
And NFLer. And bringer of donuts. Just a real shoot. Wish those guys could be here to enjoy it.
I don't. Now we could just eat more. No, I really do. Only because of what Sly brought when he had it.
I was going to say, you're outdoing my Lunchables, buddy.
I don't know.
No.
That
was nostalgia.
That was a buffet.
Yeah. Harvey didn't bring Fairlife shots, so Sly still wins.
We were doing chocolate milk shots at the home show. I forgot about that. That was
nobody was ripping Red Bull shotguns with me.
That's true too.
Oh yeah, last week you missed it. He was shotgunning Red Bulls. Oh my gosh!
Man, he has to go call that game so he get that juice. Let's go, Sly.
I'm pretty sure Sly hasn't slept for a week. There's no way.
That's welcome to daddy life.
I loved how he's looking at us too, and he's like, "You guys going on this?" And we're like, "We gotta fire up the show here. Hold on."
I left my Red Bull at home, Sly. Sorry, dude.
Let me get to my Salt Lake City fat loss
read here real quick. Yeah. So, Football Fridays, of course. We appreciate you, Britta. Hey, hot and cold, of course, as always, brought to you by the good folks at Enbridge Gas. Prep for winter. Get a furnace inspection from a certified heating contractor. Check that safety and efficiency of that unit at your house. Make sure it's running right. A reminder from Enbridge Gas. All right. Teams across college football right now. I'm looking at a couple things. I got a couple of deals here. I've got power rankings as decided on by humans. And I don't know. I've never really loved ESPN's like RPI or any of that. But when you talk about teams that have been kind of across the country have been shocking so far this year. And I honestly do think that in an era, I don't think Indiana gets to the level that they're at unless we're in kind of this free agency era. And I'm not saying that they're like stacked with a bunch of transfers that have changed their program, but I'm sure every program could probably point to a handful of players that have been a massive change for them as a group because of them moving over from a school. I think more importantly, you have teams like Indiana that are able to pounce on the fact that other teams who may or may not have all the guys that they had last year that they've had success with. Ohio State is the only team across the country that we look at and go, yeah, they look like they're bona fide. Indiana's becoming more so every week. I have to give my kudos to Texas A&M, who's number 3 in the country right now, and even Kalen DeBoer, who has been behind the 8 ball. I don't care what you do at Alabama. If you're not Nick Saban in 2025, you're going to get ridiculed, and he has, despite all the criticisms, been able to keep that program winning. Now, the program. The problem is that you have teams that I don't know anything about, and the teams that I don't know anything about currently are as follows. And this is part of the top 25 and part of the top 15. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, I have no idea what to think about. I think most of the time people don't give kudos to a team like Georgia Tech because why would you want to give kudos to a team who mostly gets their kicks out of running the quarterback and your double, triple options and all those things. And then Miami finally became the Miami that we thought they were going to be over the weekend, which was a 4-interception game from Carson Beck. And I'm looking at this list, too, and BYU is on the list of teams that are, at least on this power ranking from ESPN, they have them as a top 10. And I know the coaches poll have them there. They're number 11 in the AP poll. I still think that there is work to do in the minds of people that are out there. But at the same time, we also give massive kudos to SEC teams and Big Ten teams. Why don't those other schools in the Power 4 conferences like a BYU, why did Texas Tech fall? JJ made a great point this week. Why is Texas Tech getting beat up for losing one game to a really good team? They dropped 7 spots. That would have never happened with a team like Alabama.
No, it wouldn't have. And I agree with you. They're all Power 4. Everything's basically even at this point with NIL and otherwise. So, like, this idea that it's the SEC is anything special, I think the narrative's starting to blow up a little bit, and you're watching this play out. The SEC's not much different than the Big 12 at the top. These teams are beating up on each other. Alabama beat Georgia. I think somebody's going to get Alabama again. I think someone's going to get Georgia again. Ole Miss, they got beat by Georgia. Vanderbilt. So these teams at the top of the SEC are going to beat each other up. And so why should the SEC get a pass and the Big 12 got punished for it? So we'll see how that plays out. You're right. I think there's some teams at the top. Everything's wide open. I don't remember a more wide open national championship race. And I even think it's hard to tell yet because, honestly, who's Ohio State beat? Who have they beat? They beat Grambling? They beat Ohio? I'm serious. Illinois is not as good as we thought they were. They just beat up on Wisconsin. Wisconsin is one of the most disappointing programs in the country right now. And guess who they play next? Penn State. Frauds.
Even more of a disappointment.
Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers. That's the rest of their schedule, guys. They haven't played anybody. They beat Texas week 1. They're like, oh, my gosh, they beat Texas. Guess what? Texas ain't good either. So Ohio State's beating up on a bunch of bad teams right now. They beat up on Minnesota. They beat up on Washington. None of these teams are top 25. None of them are close. So who is the best team in the country? I have no idea. No idea. Even the teams that you thought you could count on, once you break it down, it's like, Ohio State hasn't beaten anybody. Georgia Tech hasn't played anybody. Georgia Tech beat Clemson. They shot up in the polls because they beat Clemson. Clemson sucks. So we got to recalibrate over and over again and try to figure this out. But honestly, the truth is it's not just parity in the Big 12 or parity in the ACC. There's parity across the country now in college football, and I love it, and I embrace the chaos.
Let's take another break here real quick. We got to get out a little bit early because at the top of the hour we're going to get Bear Tourney, head coach of the Utah Mammoth, on the program here with us. We'll come back and we'll chat with Tom Curl as well around the corner. I do have a clip that I want you to hear. Joel Klatt did something interesting, and that was play the game of what it would look like to have a 24-team college football playoff based off of right now what that would look like. Automatic qualifiers equal across all the power conferences. We'll talk about that in a little bit more, of course, as we get you into our Football Fridays. We'll have all of our predictions for you, all of it. Don't want to miss any, right here on a Football Friday, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.